Ghost type Pokemon are some of the most creative and interesting creatures to roam the Pokemon world. With so many different sizes, inspirations, shapes and forms, they're undoubtedly some of my favourites. So this Halloween, I thought it'd be fun to bring you a follow-up to one of my fan favourite videos, where I forced artists to design a new monkey Pokemon for Scarlet and Violet, while working back from Pokédex entries that I had written from the creature. But this time, we're making ghosts. Interestingly enough, a few weeks after I posted that video, Game Freak did reveal a new monkey Pokemon, that being Greavard. So maybe this video will foreshadow a new official Ghost type Pokemon to be revealed in the next few days. What's good people, KDP from the future here, just to say that 1, I was right, and 2, I think I'm a genius. Getting introductions out of the way, let's jump right into writing this Dex entry for this new Spectre species. To start off, I want to look at other Ghost Dex entries to see if there's any kind of behavioural patterns or unique details I can pick up on that I can elaborate on to make our ghost more interesting. So let's have a look. It feeds on the dark emotions of sadness and hatred, which make it grow steadily stronger. It loves the crying of children. It finds bad children who won't listen to their parents and spirits them away. Those that hear this creature's cry are tormented by headaches and hallucinations. Any wounds made by its blade will leak life energy, which its swords then absorb. If you touch its hilt, it will latch onto your arm and completely drain you of your life force. This Pokemon absorbs the life force of those who drink it. Extraordinary energy amplifies its cursing power to such an extent that it can't help but curse its own trainer. Stand too close to its mouth and the voices of your loved ones will draw you in. Game Freak, are you okay? Alright, jokes aside, 1 or 2 words that I did see pop up quite a bit in those Dex entries was life force or life energy. It seems like a load of ghost Pokemon drain it from their victims and use it as a source of energy and food. So it's something I want to tie into our Fakemon in some way. An aspect I really liked from the last video that I want to bring in here was including some of my own life experience in the Dex. And a story my family would often tell me when I was younger was that if there's a kind ghost in your house and you ask it nicely enough, it will help you find things you've lost. Obviously, whether you believe this or not is up to you, but I think it's a nice touch to add to this Pokemon's personality. Another detail I saw come up in Dex entries of other ghosts a lot is scaring and harassing kids, whether that be taking them away or screaming at them to make them cry. Because I want to go for a kinder ghost than Pokemon would usually make, I think my Dex entry would juxtapose these in some way. So with all of these notes in mind, I began writing. I haven't given as much to go off with this design as I did with the monkey video, as I wanted to give the artist more creative liberties with what it could look like and what its type could be. I did this while also trying to streamline the idea of the Pokemon more beforehand. Obviously this series is still in its early days, so if you've seen both videos, let me know which style of Dex entry you prefer. But with all that out of the way, let's have a look at the Dexes that I came up with. A collector of lost things. This Pokemon picks up objects dropped by humans. If you manage to gain its trust, it will share these items with you, perhaps even retrieving belongings you once thought lost. Naturally territorial and disliking loud noises, it fights with Duskull and Mischievous that make children scream. When in a foul mood, it drains the life force of those nearby. Whether this is intentional remains unknown. So now, with the Dex entries written and my team of artists selected, let's look into these designs.
For my design, I was drawn to 2 specific details in the Pokédex entries we were provided. The collector of lost things, and how they pick up objects dropped by humans, led me to search for animals who are either prone to interact with people, or actually mimic human behavior. It also shares what it finds, so something that had pockets sprang to mind as well. The second entry pointed out that it fights with Duskull and Mischievous, so I figure it probably is similar in size and scale to those Pokemon. It also defends others against them, so its design should be more friendly to help separate its personality from the other 2. I had a rough time finding Spain and Portuguese creatures that fit the criteria I thought were interesting, but I remembered there are a lot of other Pokemon who are foreign to the region they appear in. This actually added to my theme, as this Pokemon is wandering around looking for its home, and picks up lost items in its travels. This new Pokemon is lost and trying to find its way home. So its demeanor is sad, but it has a hopeful smile to help convey its situation. I wanted to show a more reserved curiosity. I ended up taking inspiration from the kangaroo family, thanks to their human similarities in their natural pouches. Their big ears also help show their aversion to loud noises. Kangaroos are also known for their rude natures and their willingness to fight to prove their dominance, adding back to their defensiveness in their Pokédex entries. For the Pokemon itself, I added markings that are reminiscent of bones to help push the ghost aspects of their typing. A tough decision was choosing to omit their legs, which they are known for hopping around with. In the end, their long legs took away from their ghost theming, so they had to be removed. No pun intended. The final detail was adding a Pokédoll of Pikachu sticking out of its pouch to show it collects human objects. Plus, it also kept with the color scheme. Maybe there are alternate designs with different Pokédolls or items. Overall, I am very happy with how this design turned out for our friendly new ghost Pokémon.
Oh my god, dude.
No way.
Dude, that is so cute. Oh, and it moves as well. Oh my god, dude, this is insane. It's so cute. Is it Spectaru? Spectaru is amazing.
I hope you guys liked it.
I adore it. I was like...
The colouring was amazing, how you did it from the old style.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved that.
No, 1000%. The color is amazing. Like, it's very reminiscent to that really early Gen 1 art. I was so sad, like, listening to its story, but, like, sad in a good way. Listening to its backstory that you were saying. It goes and picks up these... Yeah. Obviously, you're taking from the dexes I pulled, but it's just... You've really interpreted it in an amazing way. I adore this so much.
And I had to put the normal typing in there. I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, no, Ghost Normal is perfect.
I genuinely love that our resident, like, Gen 1er did, like, the early Gen art style. That is so fitting, and I love it.
It's perfect, dude. You really nailed it.
It gets worse.
Whoa, is this an evolved form?
Yes.
Oh my god, yo!
Oh my god, that mouse!
Marsupial? That's crazy!
Dude, that's
I figured, like,
cool.
after you, like, pick it up for a while, it's like, you're home here now, and he's like, oh, now I've been abandoned. This is great.
Dude, this is
Really
amazing!
just gets really mean.
This is, and I just going back to the other one as well, I loved its shiny form, and I adore this one's shiny form too. Dude, you've outdone yourself. This is crazy good.
You guys liked it.
I had no idea how, like, a Fakémon was gonna look, like, in your art style, kind of combined with the old Sugimori art style. This is a vibe, man.
This is amazing.
This is, like, so cool.
This honestly looks like official artwork from, like, some of the mons that just were never created in some of the first, like, Pokemon art.
Like, kind of
books.
like the Gen 2 beta Pokemon kind of vibe. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly like that.
I'm glad you guys liked it. I'm super happy with how they came out.
They're freaking awesome. I nearly also did a Marsupial for, like, the whole, like, having a pouch thing. I didn't go with it in the end.
No
and
way!
I nearly did a Ghost Type, so we nearly did, like, the same thing. I would have executed it so differently, because this is just, like, my brain would not have gone in this direction. I adore it, but that would have been funny.
Thank you so much for all the work you put into this. Jeez, I am so impressed. So, considering, Haywire, you started the first video. I actually said that we finish off on your one and we go to Kiiroi next for the next
I was actually gonna say that. Can I go second? Yeah, that's perfect.
Hello, everybody! My name is Kiiroi, and welcome to the dojo. Now, working backwards from the Dex entry was a little bit of a challenge for me. Not because I couldn't think of anything, but because there were so many ideas that came through my mind palace, especially with Ghost Type Pokemon. I was originally going to go with two concepts for this Pokemon, a Condor and a Dracena fragrans, which is a type of plant in Spain that is said to eat and carry the carcasses of dead spiders under its leaves, which I thought was absolutely perfect for a creepy Pokemon. At the same time, I wanted it to be shaped like a friend, cause why the hell not? Once I started drawing, however, I got more and more into this rabbit hole of completely scrapping the bird side of the Pokemon to drawing this weird mixture of the plant and a totem dragon-like head, which I tried to play around with for quite a bit. Adding the leaves on top of its head to show how it's still frail enough that it needs to hide from other Pokemon. Adding to the fact that this Pokemon can only be found if you lure it out or gain its trust somehow. Which got me thinking along the lines of the Pokemon Rotom, which I always loved as a child. Since I wanted this Pokemon to be based around a children's nighttime scare story, I thought it could be the equivalent to a fairy. Nobody believes it's real, and since it's so small, it can just hide in whatever small space it can find. I tried going with a more scary puppet ordeal for the head at one point or another, but I just thought the Pokemon would have been too lifeless for the direction it was going in. Maybe I'll try that again in the future. Who knows? And with the topic of fairies, I wanted to add this really vibrant little butterfly or fairy-like wing to its back, making it have a more mystical atmosphere, to show how much of a rarity and sight this Pokemon is, whilst also enabling the idea of colourful wild animals are dangerous, and since this Pokemon is a ghost fairy, it's not exactly the friendliest of Pokemon. Overall, I've loved making the design of this Pokemon. Down from the round hands that make it seem as if it's defenseless, the wings that have a poisonous and mystifying look to them, whilst also allowing them to stand out from the head, with its glow-in-the-dark yellow eyes, creepy tormenting smile, devil-like horns, as well as the actual head itself.
Hell yes, that's the totem fairy Pokemon. What is that? How do you pronounce the name, Matt? You're gonna have to tell me.
That is called Totiri.
Totiri.
Yeah, just Totiri. A totem fairy Pokemon.
It's like, again, just straight away in a completely different direction to what Jacob did, and that's super cool to see.
Oh, it's so tiny.
It is so small.
Adorable, and it's gonna bite my ear.
Honestly, this Pokemon went in such a different direction from what I originally... I was planning on, like, doing a bird. But then, after I did the head, I just couldn't stop thinking about how perfect the eyes and mouth were. So I just had... I just honestly just based it around that at some point.
No, I love it. It's really cool. And Fairy Ghost is honestly... is a typing I really want to happen in Scarlet and Violet. So that's really cool to see.
Well, I mean, we have Mimikyu.
Oh yeah, we do have Mimikyu. I'm just forgetting Mimikyu exists. I want another Fairy Ghost then.
Yeah.
Getting greedy now, aren't we, KDP?
I am, yeah.
I also did its abilities based around what I really wanted it to do, which was I wanted it to take hits, right? Where its normal ability color change would be where you get hit, it changes its typing to whatever it got hit by. But I wanted to create a new unique ability, which was tactical change. Tactical charm, should I say. And this is where the fairy and ghost come in, where if it gets hit by a move that it's immune to, then it gains +2 attack or special attack, depending on whichever stat is higher. And since it's fairy, it's immune to dragon, and if it's ghost, it's immune to normal, which I think it's quite balanced. So yeah, and we haven't exactly had a Pokemon like that before, where you would actually need to use proper strategy for switching it in, because if you switch it in wrong, it might just go down in one hit. So yeah.
No, that's super
really
interesting.
cool.
I love that ability. That's really, really cool.
I'm also
Yeah,
a massive fan of like any Pokemon design that looks like it could have several different types. And you mentioned like it's partly based, or it certainly was, like on a plant, and then also it kind of looks poisony. So any Pokemon that looks like it could be like 16 different types, kind of like Armaldo and Anorith, is like immediately in my good books. I love that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
You can go on. You can go on.
I was just gonna say, I could imagine this thing kind of being like in the Pokemon world, a bit of an enemy to like Florges, or almost. I know I said about Duskull and Misdreavus in the Dex, but obviously they're both like very plant-based fairy Pokemon. So I could see this thing having a bit of a strange relationship with Florges. No, I'd quite like that.
Yeah.
I see.
With the Misdreavus and Duskull idea, I was originally planning on adding 2 eyes to the back of its head to, so it can fight off both at the same time, or give the impression that, there's 2 of him. If he's facing one Pokemon and the other Pokemon's behind him, it will be like a kind of like a scare tactic.
And you've kind of got that with the wings. That still kind of exists a bit. Like,
yeah.
I like that.
I just want to see this as like a charm and earring set that everybody in the Pokemon games is wearing around. Just like, oh, look, it's adorable. And then one would actually jump off and bite you.
Yeah! Oh, I love that! That's so good!
Yeah.
It just seems really wrong.
Not
like really evil, but just like playing really mean tricks on people for fun.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be completely evil, because some Ghost Type Pokemon are literally just tricksters.
Totally.
So yeah, that basically fit into what I wanted it to do.
No, that's super fun. I love this. Again, thank you very much for your design, dude. This is really, really cool. And again, I love the fucking shiny. I'll definitely get you to hunt this thing for me.
Oh.
No, that's super cool. Then I guess it is last but not least coming up. Are we ready?
Raggy. Yeah, let's go.
Oh, I'm excited. Let's fucking do this, people.
I would start this recording with when presented with these Dex entries, but full disclosure, I did help KDP to workshop them, so maybe I'm a bit biased going into this challenge as I saw some earlier versions of them and that may have influenced me a little bit in terms of what I came out with. With that being said, when presented with these Dex entries, I thought this Pokemon definitely lives near humans, while also having a little bit of a bad reputation, so my mind turned to rats. Thankfully, those little fellas are getting a bit of a better reputation nowadays than they had a few years ago, thank you, internet, for that one. My design depicts a street brawler, rather than having a stricter, more refined martial style, like we see with most fighting types. My Pokemon will bite, it will scratch, it will throw sand in your eye and play dirty to win a fight no matter what it takes. The premise for this Pokemon is that it carries some regrets into the afterlife. It hasn't fully accepted the fact that it isn't alive anymore yet, which is another reason for its fighting type. It not only fights with other Pokemon, but it fights with itself. It also has some lore ties similar to Cubone's with Kangaskhan, so if you can guess which other Pokemon that this little guy might be related to, let us know in the comments and I will tell you if you get it right. Meet Rudent. Its name comes from Ru, meaning regret, and Rodent. Its category is the regret Pokemon, and after we have a little chat, you might get to see what it evolves into.
Oh, another one with an evolution? That's exciting.
My son.
So, we have Rudent. Again, ghost fighting. We need more ghost fighting types. Fucking mythicals do not count, in my opinion. We need more ghost fighting types. So that's so cool. Oh my god. I adore this design, dude.
Sorry, I just want to appreciate how different each of the ghost type Pokemon are.
Absolutely.
Ghost ratable things. That is just chef's kiss, man.
We also all went for, like, I'd say unique typings, not only from each other, but also in general, like Ghost Normal, Ghost Fairy, and Ghost Fighting. We've only really seen, like, one.
Each has only had one Pokemon, yeah. Not including, like, families, of course, but yeah, each of those types have only ever had one Pokemon, so that's really cool to see. Wow, no, I love it, and its tail, I'm getting, like, Wobbuffet vibes almost from its tail.
You're right, I didn't think of Wobbuffet. This is like the Urshifu shiny last
Urshifu shiny all over again, yeah. Which, by the way, love the shiny.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, the blue is amazing.
The shiny, like, the main thing with it is that the like, top half and bottom half, like, the colors are swapped. I spent so long fiddling with the palette, it's unreal, but then I got there and I was like, yep, that works, I'll go with that.
No, it's so good, dude. I really fucking like this. This is really cool. So what is the Pokemon that you were saying that you were drawing inspiration from?
Oh, so, obviously because it's a rat, I don't know if you noticed, but, like, at the start of the sketch, it just looked like Rattata. Like, it was Rattata by accident. And then I thought it also Rat and Watchog. And then the other one I mentioned is, which I'm not going to say in this video because I made it interactive. People in the comments are going to have to guess what this thing is kind of related to, sort of like how Cubone has ties to Kangaskhan. This is something else, but people have to guess in the comments.
I'm definitely getting Patrat vibes, and I'm getting almost like Sandslash vibes, even a little bit because of its back.
Yeah, I can see the Sandslash. Haywire, can I just say, this rat is actually going to haunt my nightmares with how big it is. Like, that type compared to a human
That's a big rat!
Jesus, man. Imagine hundreds of those surrounding you. Nah, I can't. Nah.
Is that a new ability as well?
Yes, so you'll see why it has this ability when you see the next video I have lined up, but...
the next video? Oh shit!
Yeah, boy. So basically, it has... Hoarder is the same as Pickup, except if you take the item that it finds away from it, like into your bag, it will reduce this Pokemon's friendship.
I really like that. Oh, it just picks up a fucking, like, toxic orb and then you're fucked.
Oh my god, can you imagine?
I want to ask, is that
possibly related to how it evolves?
Mayhaps.
I was thinking the same exact thing for the other one, but I'm like, no, I'm not gonna be like, because I don't know how Game Freak would like that. It's like, yeah, you have to kick your Pokemon a little bit to make it evolve. It's fine.
Look at you two being great minds thinking alike. This is really cool. Now, I need to see this evolve form. You've got to send the video.
Yeah, boy.
After spending 20 battles in your party, Rudent will evolve. As you can see, this Pokemon is unfortunately quite the tortured soul. The ghostly hand of its tail has overcome its entire body, and further tails grow from its spine, long shadowy arms which wrap around it and attempt to drag it into the afterlife fully. As you can see from its claws, this Pokemon isn't exactly happy about that and is trying to cling to the mortal coil. In the shading you can even see it's lit from behind as it doesn't want to go into the light, so to speak. I also wrote some Pokédex entries for this Pokemon, which is called Garma, the Torment Pokemon, coming from Garna, meaning to collect, and Murine, meaning relating to mice. Garma's hoard of lost things is immense, yet it knows of every item in its stash and will rampage if one goes missing. It always rides as if in pain. The longer its tails, the greater its torment. Hating Ghost-type Pokemon with a passion, Garma will ruthlessly attack others it encounters. Dark city streets fill with its mournful wailing at night. All of this is very grim, but fear not, because this isn't the only form that Rudent can take upon evolution.
What? What do you mean it's not the only form?
You know how I said this took me like unreasonably long? This is why.
I'm not surprised. Garma, I love it. It's so sad though.
I'm sorry.
Yamask and Koffagrigus. Is
It
that what it was
definitely
inspired by?
has those vibes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that
It has those
before.
vibes.
Oh, it's so sad.
This is so sad. I really like the design, but that is such a sad story to get there.
I hope you guys can forgive me. I really hope you guys can forgive me when you see the other one.
I'm
think
sure
it's
it
really
will.
I think it's really funny that this Pokemon is like, it hates other ghost Pokemon, but it literally cannot touch mine.
Oh
Yeah. You're so right.
It is incapable.
Skill issue. Well, its
That's
hidden
so
ability is
crazy.
scrappy, which would then make it able
Oh
to-
yeah, you're right. If you get a hidden ability one, you're good to go.
I am hypnotized by the shiny. I love how its body becomes fully black, so then it's almost as if the tail is the only thing that's left. That is honestly amazing. That's a great color scheme.
Yeah, that's
Thank you
genius.
so much. I wanted it to kind of look like a traditional like Halloween ghost, like, you know, the white sheet, but then also kind of like a rib cage along the back.
Yeah, no, I
Oh my
totally
God,
see it.
yeah, I
I'm
didn't even
very
realise
impressed.
Thank
This
you. I
is
took
really
too long on the
cool.
shinies this time. I'm glad it paid off.
It really did. No, it really, really did. Garma. Oh no, I need to see its other form. I need to know the split evo now. I don't want to rush off of this thing, but at the same time, I need it to be okay.
Okay, I've got the link in the chat, so here you go.
Oh, let's go. Let's see the good ending.
KDP, a little while ago I asked you if you wanted the good news first or the bad news first. Well, you will be happy to know that that was the bad news. Here comes the good. If within those first 20 battles it spends in your party, you manage to raise Rudent's friendship by 50 points, it will evolve into a different Pokemon entirely. This little guy is based primarily on a guinea pig. I chose this animal because guinea pigs need companionship. They're a completely domesticated species and don't exist in the wild. And all of this suits the theme of friendship. And also peace, because this thing knows no stress except the immense torment of being unable to get lettuce the second you bring it in from the run. I speak from experience because, shout out to my mum, she has an addiction to guinea pigs. I think she has 5 at the minute. She was looking at rescuing a 6th, so maybe that total is wrong. But this Pokemon has features based on various different breeds of guinea pigs. There's a surprising amount. I'll put a picture on the screen of Duster, who is our little guy with the long fur, which is like this Pokemon's blanket that it has. Additionally, we've had some that have been crested, which is reflected in this Pokemon's design with the little tufts on its head. I'll stop hyperfixating on guinea pigs now and give you the dex entries for Cavi, which gets its name from Cavi, which is another word for guinea pig, and Cutie. It is the peaceful Pokemon, as it has come to terms with its state of being now in the arms of a loving trainer. Though freed from material obsession, Cavi will eat as many berries as it can find. It never appears in the wild, existing only in the presence of a nurturing trainer. Cavi seems unaware of its surroundings besides those it loves, knowing no pain or torment. Living with this Pokemon rejuvenates one's life force.
KDP from the future here again to say, what the hell? This video was recorded way back on the 16th of October, so none of us had any way of knowing how accurate we'd actually get to the new Paldeamon. But holy shit, a little puppy with a ghostly sheet over it, and my dex entry where I said it accidentally drains your life force, with this and halfway predicting Graphii. Look, all I'm saying is if I'm right about Scarlet and Violet having a new type, that's a hat trick on my predictions. Oh, and Haywire's mum did get a new guinea pig. But anyway, back to the video. Oh, look at it, and he's not a fighting type anymore because he's not fighting being a ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute, dude.
Thank you.
It's a happy ending for all.
I would
love it.
never send this Pokemon into battle. I would just keep it in my party.
Yeah, I'm
This thing at the camp and nothing else.
I'm exclusively
Literally.
feeding it sandwiches. That's it. That's all I'm doing with this Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet.
Hopefully there's like
Also-
contest or something.
Yeah.
Sorry, I love the cape. I love the cape.
Yeah, it's
man.
like a little,
The
it's like a little
yellow-
Halloween costume.
Yeah. It's also like the hand, like if you look at like Rudent again, I sort of swapped the colors of its like tail hand, and instead of it being kind of like looming over it, now it's like giving it a nice old hug because Cavi has like accepted like, I guess it's kind of like plane of existence to explain it in a way that's not super dark.
That is so sweet.
Thank you. I like to think that there'd maybe be like a gym leader or like your rival or something has a Cavi, but like the game never really explains where it comes from. So like you'd possibly get it in a trade, but that'd be like the only way in the game to encounter it outside of like evolving your own. So it'd kind of be a little bit of a mystery, you know, besides the internet. If this thing was on like a Game Boy game, it would be one of the playground rumors.
Totally.
How did you get this thing? How did you get this weird guinea pig puppy?
I love it. No, that is so good.
I also love the abilities, how they're all connected to either being with someone else on the battlefield or just being given stuff. That is so
Yeah.
adorable and cute.
Oh, a note to point out actually is just like a couple of like little tidbits I did. So Garma's typing actually swaps, so it's a primary fighting type.
Yes,
because,
I noticed that.
yeah, it becomes like it's mostly a fighter that kind of happens to be a ghost, or at least that's like what the main like kind of thing that causes the direction of its life, I guess, is that it's fighting, and its like weight increases a lot. Because it's like burdened, whereas this thing weighs practically nothing. It weighs less than Rudent because it's like ascended.
I love it. It's so sweet. It's such a cute story as well that you've made for these guys. I love it all. No, I'll be honest, you've all absolutely killed this. It's been a pleasure seeing how you've all just taken these designs and done them in such unique ways as well.
It's been really cool. I was like so shocked to see how different they were. Like even just seeing people's reference images at the start, I was like, what are we in for? With
Absolutely, they're all designs that only
Yeah.
you guys could make, and I'm very happy with them. And there you have it, people. 3 new ghost Pokemon and 3 extras on top of that. Don't ever say I don't treat y'all well. Truth be told though, I could have never done any of this without the help from my artists who worked on these designs for me. So a massive thank you to all of them. Of course, their details will be down below in the description, so if you want to hit them up for anything, make sure you do so. And with that being said, people, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Happy Halloween, and I'll see you in the next video, stream, or whatever I make. Goodbye, people. What? What's going on? Ah!